So welcome back to the podcast. My name is Joseph Clough and this is episode 571, and today we are being broadcasted live on YouTube. And the fact that we're on YouTube on this Wednesday, if you're listening to this in the future, it is in the past on May the 26th. It's important to watch us on YouTube because you can get involved in the live hypnosis sessions. And therefore, for those people listening live right now, if you have anything you want me to include within the hypnosis session, go ahead and let me know. We'll make it so specific but general that everyone's going to get value from it. So that's the beauty of showing up to the YouTube page, because we don't broadcast on Facebook anymore because they mute things for no reasons. They claimed my voice as someone else's voice when there was no background music, and we don't want to be a part of that game. So we're only on youtube.com/Joseph Clough. So go ahead and join me if you're listening to me on the app or on the podcast. But in today's session, we're going to be doing a hypnosis session. Now that hypnosis session, depending on what those people are doing live right now, when they let me know, it could be about confidence, it could be about letting go of stress, the imposter syndrome, anxiety, worries, doubts, fears. You name it, we can begin to retrain our mind. And I've just come back from a trip away because it was my birthday on the May 24th. And I came back yesterday, May 25th. And it was really nice to get away because sometimes we've got to leave our present situation to get perspective over our present situation, our environment. Sometimes we can be like so focused in as to what's happening and how we're experiencing the world, where really you need that time to reflect. And of course, you don't have to go away to reflect. You can do many different things. Like one thing that I personally do is I take myself out to dinner with no earphones. I have my phone just in case, but don't look at it. Go on my notepad, as in a proper notepad, not a digital one. And I would pretty much just be present and have a reflection. So you don't need to go away. I did because it was simply my birthday and I wanted to get away. But it is important to dissociate from the situation that you're in. If you're experiencing worries, doubts, fears, if you're feeling anger, sadness, fear, guilt, hurt, frustration, shame, sometimes to remove yourself from the situation is really important. Now, I can see, obviously, Payton is in the chat right now, and I was a guest on another episode or another channel, and I was talking about mindset, and he said something really, really important, and I've said something very, very similar. So, Payton, excuse me if I got what you said in a different way, but ultimately, our beliefs will dictate our capacity or our capabilities, and our capabilities will dictate how we feel, and ultimately how we feel will dictate how we show up in our environment. In other words, the results that we get. So most of the time we're so in this experience, we're living in the environment and the stuff and the noise. Think of it as noise. Like, how much noise are we getting in every single moment of the day? How much noise are we taking in from society? How much noise are we taking in from the news? How much noise are we taking in from our friends, our family, all those things? And that noise can have an effect on how we feel. It shows up in our environment, and it makes it worse when if we have like an identity conflict, as in I don't feel deserving, or I don't feel worthy, I don't feel capable, I feel like an imposter, that reduces my capacity. It is just shrunk now. Because if I don't feel I'm good enough, I am going to show up in a way that makes me feel like I cannot do something. Hence the limitation of our capacity. So that will change how we feel, and therefore how we show up. Now, if we go down that pattern, we're going to get a certain level of results, and those results are going to guess and do what? It's going to reaffirm our identity. And especially if there's a ton of noise in our life, especially if we've been programmed by life's experiences or society or people, the people that we've met, the people we no longer even know of, they can still be echoing in our mind saying that maybe we're not enough. Like for me, when a teacher told me that this, and if you've been listening to me for a while, you know their story. And I don't mind repeating things because I like to repeat what I believe the truth is. But a teacher made me stand up when I was 10, 11 years old. In England, it was primary school, secondary school. So the next year I was going to secondary school. And she asked me this math question, or maths, as we would say in England. And I stumbled, I fumbled, I felt all the attention on me, the worry, the fear, the dread, the blushing in my face, which I had for so many years after that conditioning, that decision that happened, that I fumbled and I didn't know what to say, what to do, and I felt like I wanted to run, but I couldn't run because I was in front of all my peers. And that's when the teacher said, "Look, Joseph, if you don't know you don't know this answer, how are you going to get anywhere when it comes to secondary school, which would probably be like high school?" Now, in that moment, not only am I going through all that stress on a physiological level and a psychological level, now I've got an affirmation running in my mind that because of all this, I'm not going to go anywhere in life. So that conditioning that I had then has an effect on my identity, and therefore my capacity is zero. The way that I feel about myself, the way that I feel about certain situations, zero. And the way that I act and feel, ultimately, I'm stuck. Now, I don't want to be the victim of that. I don't want to have to blame my teacher. And that's why I said that sometimes the residue of the issue can be from someone else, but they're not even in my life. Like, I don't even know, I know her name still. I'm not going to shout you out in case, but I don't know where you are. I know retired for sure. But those after effects, we kind of, especially as a child, we just absorb. We're like a sponge, or we're like a blank canvas. And I want us to get to the point where we actually paint on the canvas that we want, that we actually squeeze the sponge and get rid of the residue that is no longer needed. To get to the point where we're going, do you know what? Even though I've gone through these things, I'm going to be more because of this. And notice I said because of this. Because yes, events in our past can lead us to our transformation. We don't get transformation in peace. We don't get transformation in comfort. We can get some epiphanies, but usually the biggest transformations are the times where things have gone wrong, and now it's our time to take back the control. It's our time to do something about it. It's our time to realize there's more to give and more to become, and to really make things happen. Not to get revenge upon people or to get revenge upon the experience, but for our own personal freedom, for our own personal peace of mind. I don't want any one of us to leave this world with any form of regret. I don't want any one of us to have any form of resentment, whether it be resentment for others or resentment for the things we didn't do that we could do in this moment that we didn't do because for whatever reason we were hypnotized by society, by the events we went through. And to me, that's not fair. And that's why I love doing these podcast episodes, because it gives me an opportunity to say my truth, even if it's not reality. That's the other thing. You've got to remember, who are you listening to? Are you listening to me? Should you be listening to me? Maybe not. Maybe I'm going to push up against some of your values, and that's okay. Maybe you'll find someone else who will help you, and that'll be good and great as well. But are we listening to society? Are we listening to the echoes of the events that we've been through? Are we going to be the byproduct of those things? We've got to think about this. Who are we listening to? Are we listening to the echoes of the other people who are no longer even in our life. They're taking up rent without even paying the rent. Are we taking on the present stuff? Are we reliving the same stories? And we've talked about this a lot. Like, what stories are we buying into? What stories are we living by, which are absolutely stories? Stories, what's even that? That's not even a word, but stories that are made up in our mind. Stories that we tell ourselves that hold us back. And it's hard to break the story. It's hard to sometimes change the page. It's hard to get ourselves in the right place because those stories have been told and told and told, and we've started to retell them to ourselves as if it's reality, as if it's our identity. But as always, it is not who you are. It may be a part that you're playing out, a story that you're replaying, a record that is going on and on and on. But sometimes we've got to change a record. Sometimes we've got to not only take the record out, but we've got to scratch it so it's no longer ever playable. Sometimes we've got to throw away the record. Sometimes we've outgrown the record. Sometimes we've got to remember who we are. So, with that, I've got some suggestions on this live stream of what we're going to do for a hypnosis track. But even if you haven't got, obviously listening to this on the replay on the podcast, which will be out because you're listening to it, but for those listening live, out in the near future, a week or two. Whatever you're going through, I want you to think about that. Like, what am I ready to give up? What am I ready to let go, which no longer serves me, which is outgrown and unneeded? And of course, if you're going to be going through this process with me, it's going to be around 15 or so minutes. We're doing short ones on the podcast. Look, if you want to go ahead and get bigger ones, you get them day and night versions, just go to freehypnosis.app. You get all these episodes in there anyway. You also get the ability to be notified as and when I release them. More like a roundup. You also get them in day and night version when it comes to the hypnosis tracks. And you can unlock the whole app. And you can even, if you wish, I'm not going to suggest this, but you could review the app as well, which means we can change the world together. But however you go through this process, please make sure you're not driving, you're not operating any machinery, and also really make sure that you're ready to change. So with that, make sure you have some earphones because we're going to be going on a journey in the mind. So when you're ready, go ahead and get yourself in a nice, comfortable position. Relax. Be here, now. That's it. Give yourself this opportunity to choose new stories, to release ones that no longer serve, and just be here now. Let's enjoy this journey of letting go what no longer serves, to enjoy the transformation, to learn as you relax, to relax as you learn. That's it. Breathe in through the nose. And exhale through the mouth. Breathe in through the nose. And exhale through the mouth. That's it. You see, with your eyes closed, you can send that signal to your unconscious mind. You can send that signal that you're ready to change, you're ready to transform. As if you're deciding, you're declaring, I'm ready for more. More love, more happiness. The ability to regain your freedom. The ability to reconnect with your unconscious mind. That's it. You see, in a moment, I'm going to gently and effortlessly count down from 10, down to 0. With each number, you can relax. That's it. Down from 10, down to 9. Allow each muscle to be more relaxed than before, but not as much as in a moment. That's it. Down from 9, down to 8. Relaxing as you learn, and learning as you relax. With every muscle, it can soften that bit more, allowing the comfort to increase, the comfort to grow. That's it. Down from 8, down to 7, down to 6. As my voice goes with you into trance, where my voice can allow you to feel better. And you can choose to take on whatever you desire, whatever makes you feel safer in this world. That's the beauty of your mind. You can nurture it, you can guide it, you can allow it to grow all the way down to 6, down to 5. Relax in this moment, feeling better and better. That's it. Just relaxing now. More and more. Easier and easier. Down from 5, down to 4, down to 3, and relax. Easily. More and more. That's it. Enjoying the effortless drifting and dreaming. You may be aware of the words that I say, or you may just to go on that journey of letting go. That's it. Down to one, all the way through zero. That's it. You see, with your eyes closed, your unconscious mind can listen. Your unconscious mind can learn and learn. So in this moment, consciously decide of what must go, how you'd like to feel, who you'd like to become, how you'd like to act and react, allowing yourself to have more confidence, more self-love, to be more self-certain in who you are, to have the love for self, to give up old stories that no longer serve you or where you're heading, to let go of old ways of being, to release old limitations. Give yourself permission to let them go now. And while your unconscious mind listens to your desires, it can respond in such a way that it can process, it can integrate, it can resolve what no longer serves, as if it floats away, and what is left behind are learnings and insights, epiphanies, upgrading your mind, upgrading your life, creating the story that you choose to create, the story that will set you free, knowing you are worthy of it, that you're ready to do the work. That's it. Because you are ready to do the work, to take massive and inspired action for what is good, for what is right. That's it. Allow this time, this moment, to be the time where you take back the control, where you take back the power, where you take back all that is needed, allowing yourself to feel better, allowing yourself to have the freedom you desire, the freedom that you create. That's it. You, the unconscious mind, can learn what is needed to be learned. You can start now. You can start in a minute. This is your choice. That's it. and you can enjoy that moment. Allow yourself to have that freedom. Allow yourself to feel stronger, more powerful, more at ease, where you see yourself out in the future, having achieved your desires, having achieved your goals. How do you look? Look at the confidence. See the self-certainty. See what is possible. The potentiality within you. The potentiality beyond you. It's all there. It's all here within your mind. So thank your unconscious mind for listening, for resolving, for making that decision. But it's now time. It is your time. It is your opportunity to make things happen. That's it. And in a moment, I'm going to gently and effortlessly count from 1 to 5. And with each number, you'll become more and more alert, but only to the level that you desire to create the most beneficial transformation that you desire and deserve. So 1, every muscle becomes that bit less relaxed. Every nerve becomes more and more alert. At 3, you can just allow yourself to stretch, to feel more awoke and awakened, to allow yourself to feel stronger and more self-assured. And at 4, you can begin to imagine just allowing yourself to become more and more alert. And at 5, you can begin to come back, all the way back into the room, so you can effortlessly reawaken back to the now. That's it. All the way back. Good work. All the way back. That's it. So I hope you enjoyed that hypnosis session, to hopefully, and I trust, to get things back into realignment, to allow yourself to experience a bit more peace, a little bit more happiness, to realize that you can and will let go of the things that no longer serve you. Why? Because you're worth it. And as always, go ahead and download my free hypnosis app, which is freehypnosis.app. And that means you can download it on either Android or iPhone. We've got day and night versions in most subjects. And also you got the create your own hypnosis sessions as well. And we're going to be doing more updates to the apps in the very, very near future. Maybe in this month, I'm going to try and add some more hypnosis sessions as well. In the meantime, if you're ready to also change on a more catered level, all you've got to do is go to www.josephclough.info/power, and that is like my online webinar, masterclass, whatever you call it these days, but it gives you an opportunity to see if you resonate with how I let go of issues. We let go of issues within 8 weeks. It is for those who are professional, who are ready to invest in themselves, because it is a customized, fully tailored experience. So only if you're ready to level up and really go for things. If you're not ready, it's fine. If we don't have the investment, that's fine. Sometimes it takes time. Sometimes it's just good to listen to all the free stuff. That's why we've got over 570 episodes in the app or the podcast, so you can listen for free. But for those who want that closer experience, that tailored experience, go to josephclough.info/power. So with that, my friends, I look forward to speaking to you on a future episode. Many thanks and goodbye.